I never denied wasn't there. I always said I was there, but I was there for a particular reason, and that's what the Commonwealth suppressed. The reasons I was there. And when we came back here in Philadelphia to find out what the seriousness was, we got arrested. We got arrested together, and we was taken down to 8th and Race. And no sooner as we got there, they started beating us to the point where they said that I said I did it, and they said that he said he did it. That's how severe the beating was. And from there, they kept us down there for overnight, 8 hours or whatever. And then they took us to the detention center. No sooner I got to the detention center, I went to the hospital and I reported what happened down 8th and Race. And then, my lawyer came up there, which was Joel Snowski. And I told him what they did and so forth and so on. And fast forward to the pretrial motions, right? We went to the pretrial motions, and we was trying to establish that how bad they beat me, but all of a sudden the medical records disappear.
Oh my God.
And when they said that, well, number one, they had the person, the deceased, had got shot one time, right? It was only one bullet, but yet they got two people there saying that they said they did it, So my co-defendant went to trial first. My co-defendant went to trial in May of 1977. He got convicted and went to death penalty. He got the death penalty. So 30 days later, they tried me for the death penalty and tried to get me the death penalty, knowing that they already had a death penalty for the person that they prosecuted for actually doing it.
So they tried y'all both for the same crime?
For the exact same thing, but separate trials. He went to trial first. He got convicted of first-degree murder and got the death penalty.
And that's because, what, you were with him?
Well, no. Well, their theory of the case that both of us some kind of way shot the guy. The guy got shot.
Both of y'all holding the gun at the same time?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So, one of the things that happened during the trial, his trial was first, my trial was second, and we had separate trials, and each trial they put the gun in our hands.
Both of y'all?
Both of us, yeah.
Okay. Right. So he got the death penalty?
He in fact got the death. He didn't die in the death penalty, but he got the death penalty. He got convicted of first-degree murder and got the death penalty.
So is he lined up for execution, or is it?
Well, he was, and then the court under Campbell versus Mooney declared it unconstitutional, and then he wound up getting life sentence.
He's still locked up?
Well, he's passed now. He died of cancer.
Crazy. I mean, that's bananas. So he died in jail.
Yeah, he died in jail. It wasn't like they said it was. It was a dispute between him. That's one of the issues of the case, is they made the decedent like a Johnny good citizen, and he was in fact a drug pusher.
Okay.
And they was having a dispute over some bad drugs, and they got into a thing, and I wasn't really in the room, so I didn't see where the gun came from. I never seen a gun, but all of a sudden I heard a shot.
25 years old, what's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind is panic. I had a family, I had a wife, daughter, a house. Like I said, I had a store on 29th and at that time, Columbia Avenue, now CCB Moore.
Okay.
And I was living a decent life,
And they took it.
Yeah, they took it.
Your kids are alive?
Oh yeah, they're
the wife?
Grandchildren. No, we're divorced.
Okay. Yeah, no, they took it all. If they're listening, or you had a chance to look these people in the eye, what would you say?
With the people meaning?
The prosecution.
Their job, they ought to go back to school and learn what their job is, to seek justice.
Right. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Or not even be there.
Yeah, not be there if they're not going to seek justice. They got a district attorney office in there now that really trying to do the function of a district attorney office, which is to seek justice, because the district attorney is not a lawyer for anyone other than everybody.
Right.
Because they supposed to protect your rights and make sure you get a fair trial, and don't hide evidence, and to prevent you from presenting your case.
I mean, well within your rights, looking to sue, obviously.
Yes, we have litigation. We have litigations in, and we're going through that process right now.
I mean, I already told you, 100 million up. These people are in position, if you're listening, they can alter your life.
Take your life.
Illegally.
Right.
I'm sure Mr. White is one of, I'd say, hundreds of thousands of people that are detained right now. And it's just overwhelming how fast, without interference, they could change somebody's life.
Right.
I mean,
that's true. I know left a lot of guys back there that have similar situations, especially in the era that I came up in. The Rizzo era, where they no sooner as you got in that police station or that roundhouse, they start whipping you with big law books, chairs. If they don't think nobody's seen you come into eighth and race, they put guns to your head, threatened they could kill you without nobody knowing what happened to you. I mean, they was vicious down there. It was pure torture. Just like the sex and lies, they get people to come and say that you did something that you didn't do from the jail, and have girls coming in there and prostituting themselves, or girls' friends, and give up sex. To
what prison is this?
Not prison. This was that time. I'm talking about eighth and race.
Okay.
I'm talking about the homicide division and the major crimes.
Talk to me about the people that the lying witnesses and the sex, I guess, and all.
Well, like my witness, it's that this girl was a young girl that probably around 16, probably started working for this guy when she was 15, and this guy really the guy that decedent, they hate to talk about the dead, but this guy was a pedophile and everything. He, having sex with young girls, working for him with the drug trade, and they protected this guy. And we didn't get all the evidence, but they say he was an informer. He was an informer for the police, so he was right there on 20th and Jefferson selling drugs openly, and
with their support.
Yeah, with their support. In fact, this is how vicious it was. They actually arrested him in the store, I think, at least 3 times under undercover agents, right? And that's what they hid. But yet they were saying that it was a good, wholesome store. And they had the witness that testified against me. They had her say, the cops and the DA had her knowing that she was lying, because, like I said, they raided the store at least 3 times, knowing that she was lying, saying there were no drugs sold in the store. We found out later, maybe 2 months before the decedent was killed, they raided her house, which his stash was in. I think they got over 1,000 bags of heroin in her house. But that's the kind of stuff they hid. Over 1,000 bags of heroin.
Back then, that was the whole enchilada.
yeah, back then, yeah.
That was everything. Yeah. So she's the one that was the witness in your case?
Yeah, that put me on the scene. But that wasn't no dispute, because I put myself on the scene.
Right.
But the reason that was there, that's what they suppressed, and that's what they hid evidence to establish the fact that I was there for the jury could believe, or had the opportunity to believe, that I was there as a victim like everybody else was there. And it was a situation, it was an individual situation between the decedent and my co-defendant.
You got to be angry about it.
Well, I can't afford to be angry because you can't think when you're angry. And so what I have to try to do is, well, because I'm a religious guy, so I keep my faith in God. And God brought me through it, I went through all the agony and all the suffering and all the, disappointments and depression that I guess a human being under the circumstances have to go through. So it was a lot of pain and suffering.
I mean, even though you did not commit the crime, there's kids out there that are doing whatever out there right now. I mean, what advice do you have to them in reference to actual being inside that maybe you could just give to them to let them know that jail's not for y'all?
It's absolutely not no joke, and it's absolutely not necessary for the things that the young people is doing these days, especially with the guns. The guns is, just
stop.
so out of control. And I mean, if they just pick up some kind of sport or some kind of, anything to occupy their mind. A book.
A
but
book
to pick up a gun,
trick.
to pick up a gun gonna cost them their life, and they giving out so much time. It took me. I'm innocent of my crime,
Right.
and it took me 46 years to get out. And that court thing, the court is.
System is broken.
It's broken because you're going to get an ambitious person on that side, right? That is not going to care anything about your life. Don't care nothing about your family ties. Don't care if you have children. Don't care nothing about your children. In fact, actually, I think in my era, the era that I came up, it affects the children that we see in the street doing this stuff because they took their fathers. Also in my era, they closed down the mental institutions like Farview and different mental institutions around the state, and they opened the jails for it. And jails is, if people got mental challenges, it's not a place for them, because what
You
they
become
did.
a victim.
Because what they did is they mixed like the so-called common criminal with the mentally disturbed people. People got real serious mental problems.
Right.
Not to even mention like what they go through with drugs and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then no families, no kind of support. So it's a whole lot of factors that the prison just don't treat because number one, they got really young people that they hire, and some of them so happy that they not caught up in the jail system that they on the other side of the jail system, they guards or some kind of officials in the jail. But even those folks, you have some that is sensitive and really try to do something to help the people that come through there. But it's really a messed up situation because there's so many factors that cause a person not to even do anything with their life, even when they come out of jail, because they kind of kick you right out of jail. They got different little programs now, but a lot of them is pretty much superficial.
Let's talk second justice.
Okay.
Let's talk Joseph Marone, Michael Pomerantz, all those guys over there. I mean, what do they mean to you right now?
Oh, man, they mean the world to me because what they did, they really stepped up, especially after my 30 years extra and seen my story, read my story. A mutual friend sent Joe up there to see me, and I told Joe what my story was, and Joe really got on to him and Michael Pomerantz, and what they trying to do. In fact, they seen the need for second justice. They seen the need that people like myself don't have no money to get no really qualified lawyers or quality lawyers. And they stepped up with that, and they've been working since I've been out. And just before I came out, they started coming up with the idea of second justice. And so now they're really getting some good people. We just hired the sister that just ran for Attorney General.
Okay.
And she's really doing wonderful things over there for Joe. And I think it's really going to go some places. I think, and then we're not just thinking about Philadelphia. We thinking about Pennsylvania. We thinking about being a model for the whole country, if not the world.
Well, I grew up in New Jersey, and I'll tell you right now, Joe Marone would scare a lot of folks across that bridge
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people locked up for things they didn't do and how corrupt the system is. It's just a business.
It's a business, pure business, money.
It's business, right?
It's all
If
money.
you can afford it, you going home.
Mhm.
But if you can't, you gonna sit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slam the public attorney, public defender's office or something like that, but they work with the prosecutor.
Yeah.
That
And they lack of resources for the
Right.
public defender's office. They really, they don't match what the other side have.
right.
The state, they can't match that. They only get a certain amount of money from the state or from the local county that they represent. And like in Philadelphia, I knew some really good public defenders like Bradley Bridge. Bradley Bridge actually is the one who won. And let me just mention this. I just didn't get a new trial 30 years ago. I got discharged from my trial judge. My trial judge, seeing how egregious what they did to me was, and he discharged me. Now, though I'm grateful for the federal courts for giving me the new trial, but in fact, I really should have got a discharge.
Got you. The habeas corpus.
The habeas corpus, the habeas corpus was granted by a great judge, John Padova, right? And he did a wonderful job in writing the opinion, but they were still playing games in Philadelphia because they should have let me be completely exonerated because that's what Delaporte did. Because I never got an opportunity for my side of the story to be put out there until Judge Padova did it.
I always tell people when you get detained or arrested, make sure you speak up for yourself and all that, because if you're quiet, they'll go through the motions.
Yeah.
And you will end up
screwed. Well, you see, the thing is, you're ignorant, more like you ignorant definitely to the law, not to even mention partially illiterate. So you don't know what's going on. You done panic. You full of emotions, and they threatening you. They promise you they're gonna let you go. They got the Mud and Jeff game. They got the good cop, bad cop. They got a process that's so expertise, and you are an inexperienced person. I had some contact with the law before I came, but not to the degree with this situation.
Right.
And it's really intimidating. So they come and they want you to tell on each other. They want you to blame the other guy and so forth and so on. And if you don't, they're going to give it to you.
And that's not justice.
No, that's not nowhere near justice. Not from a civilized society. If we're supposed to be a civilized society, a country or city or state of laws, and the people who supposed to enforce the law breaks the law. Weed is legalized now, but just imagine the guy who smoked more weed than the guy he about ready to stop about weed or about ready to lock up the process for weed. I mean, that's kind of hypocrisy.
Right. Mr. White, we want to thank you for coming up today.
I appreciate you.
You like I told you, you like Rubin Hurricane Carter for me, because it's a story I grew up as a kid learning about.
Hurricane Carter?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's real.
Yeah, because I did hear something about...
Great fighter. I mean, he was a good contender.
Yeah.
He never became a champion. But I grew up under that kind of stuff. And him and the other boy that went in the bar, that's he supposed to and they framed him in the bar.
So did he get an award, though, for, fighting for justice?
That's some kind of award. I can't remember exactly what it was now. But, because it was a great story. In fact, I think he got out under habeas corpus, if I'm not mistaken. I think
and that was due to same situation with the detective, I forget his name, from the movie. But whatever, Anyway, well, blessings, man. We welcome you home.
I appreciate it.
Joseph Marone, we thank you, for bringing home this brother. And, we checking out. Give money, give love. and have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you, Joey.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.